Hey y'all, it's me, Cardi B. So welcome to or welcome back to my little booktube. This is episode 9. So these are books that I DNF'd um January to March of 2023. Um the first book is going to be Murder in Westminster by Vanessa Riley. DNF'd it at 1% because I was bored. So, I mean, there's not much I can say about the plot or, anything. Because, like I said, 1%. I was bored. So, yeah, on to the next. Sizzle Paradox. I was actually kind of sad to DNF this. This is by Lily Menon, who is actually uh, another pen name for Santa Menon. Again, I feel like I'm butchering her name. Um, I love her YA. And I did not like the main characters in this adult romance that she had. And it was just, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. So DNF'd it at 11%. Another book that I DNF'd was The Seven and a Half Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This book always shows up on like, oh, you have to read this. Oh, it's so great. And at 36%, the book, because I listen to it on audiobooks. So, I have a percentage, not like a chapter, but at 36%, I was over it. Every time I turned on the audiobook, no matter what time of day it was, I kept dozing off. It was just drawn out and boring, and I didn't want the headache anymore. Um, Number 4 on my DNF list is going to be The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. DNF'd it at 4%. I kept zoning out and I kept getting lost. So I had no clue what was going on in the book. It is like a fantasy book. So I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset to like receive the storyline because I had no clue what was going on. Like I can't even tell you what the book was about. That's how it was just so bad. I just not the book. I don't want to say the book was bad because I didn't finish it, so I don't know if it was good or bad. I just had no clue what was going on. It was so bad. I was just like, I don't know, a deer in headlights. So, yeah. Number 5 on my list is going to be A Vinyl Resting Place by Olivia Black. Didn't finish it at 6%. Now, this is a cozy mystery. So, I give cozy mysteries a lot of passes because they're cozy mysteries. So, um, but I had major beef with the main character. Um, I was under the assumption while reading this book that the main character was around my age, so like 29-ish in that age frame, and she was written like a middle-aged woman. Like, and it just like there was this one line in the book where she was just all like, "Oh, like," because she's obviously reopening her family's vinyl record store, and she's just all like, "Oh, thanks to the millennials, and they're like newfound interest in vinyls, like vinyls making a comeback." And I don't know if it was how I was taking it, like when I was reading it, but like I don't know. It just made it seem like I'm technically a millennial. Like I was born in '94. I know what the hell a vinyl is. I've used a vinyl player, or like not a vinyl player. I'm sorry, a record player, to play vinyls. Um, I don't know. It was like how she said it, as if like millennials had never seen a vinyl record before. They've never used a record player, and it was like, oh my god, I found this really cool like thing in my great great grandparents' house, and now oh I'm totally into it. Let me like get on the interwebs and tell everybody about it. It just I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way. I know. Maybe that's super minor. Maybe I'm too sensitive. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't mesh well with me. Just gonna put it that way. So number 6, and I got major beef with this book, is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. That is the author. I heard mixed reviews about this book. Either you loved it or you hated it. Um, I read some reviews, and a lot of people who hated it just said that it was very graphic and gory. Obviously, like it's a thriller horror like book, so like I expected it to be gory. And honestly, that wasn't what made me DNF this book because I DNF'd it at 20%. So I did get a decent chunk of the book read. I DNF'd it because this book was supposed to be set in the 90s, like 1990s. And the women in this book, the main character in particular, seemed like she was written in 1950s. Like I'm talking about Leave It to Beaver 1950s. Like she was a stay-at-home mom. Nothing against stay-at-home moms. I am a stay-at-home mom, so nothing against that. But the way like oh, I have to make sure my casserole looks good. And she was just ditzy and clueless. Her husband just didn't give any type of fucking anyway, he didn't give any about her and her feelings. And then like his the husband's mom had to like come live with them because obviously she was like really elderly, and it was like oh like I don't know like how they went about everything was just piss poor in my opinion. And then not to mention there was like I don't it was just the it seemed like the only black people in this book were like servants, if that makes sense. Like not servants in like the traditional sense, but like they eventually like hire like a home health like nurse for them like the grandmother because she's so old and like she's I think she I think she might have like dementia or something and whatever. She's like an old lady and she needs help, which is why she moved in with them. But like the home health nurse is black. Okay, that's fine. But it was just like how they talked about the home health nurse, and like again, like it was making it seem like it was set in the 50s. So it was almost kind of like their like neighborhood was still kind of like segregated but not really segregated. It just I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way, and I was just like, "You know what? This is something that I don't need in my life." So whatever. Okay. Number 7 is Death by Bubble Tea by Jennifer J. Chow. So I have read her cozy mysteries before, and I enjoyed the Mimi Lee cozy mystery. I didn't read the whole series. I just read the first book. I enjoyed it. So I figured that this cozy mystery by her I would also enjoy. Unfortunately, that was not the case. And again, I don't know. I listened to it on audiobook, so I don't know if it was the narrator that was narrating the book or if it was actually the character itself. But the main character was just annoying for me, and I just didn't even care to see where the story went. I didn't even get to the murder. That's how quickly I DNF'd this book. It was at like 6%, and I'm pretty positive like no one had even been murdered yet. So I don't know. Maybe I quit it too soon. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And I believe this is number 8. So the 8th book that I D and F is going to be The Storyteller by Catherine Williams. So this one was supposed to kind of be about like if you know about the Romanovs, Anastasia. Side note, I loved that movie Anastasia when I was younger. So that's why I picked this book to read. And then That's actually why I'm upset that I DNF'd it. Because the main character was whiny. And no, the main character is not Anastasia. It's basically about this girl and I think it's like her great aunt or something like that. Like one of her relatives, she goes to spend time with them or something like that. And basically, what they're alluding to is that her great aunt is actually Anastasia Romanoff. And yeah, I didn't even get to that part. Like, the main character was that whiny. She was like some little teenager, and I just didn't have the patience for it. So, DNF'd it. What can I say? I just don't care, apparently, for a whiny main character. I don't know. The ninth book that I DNF'd was Charming as a Verb by Ben Phillippe. I DNF'd it at 6% because I was bored, and I just got the vibe that it was going to be like super formulaic, and I just wasn't in the mood for it. I also felt like the narrator for the audiobook was super annoying. Sorry. And then the last book that I DNF'd was Love Radio by Ebony Liddell. Now, maybe I'm petty. Maybe I'm petty. But basically, this book, it was a YA book. Well, it is a YA book, and it's like, you know, classic story. Boy, likes girl, but girl doesn't believe in love, and then they blah 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 blah. You get the gist. But the story was set in Detroit. I have nothing against the story set in Detroit. However, I live in Michigan. I have family in Detroit, so I have spent a lot of time in Detroit. And the narrator who read this book clearly had never been to Detroit because her accent, I don't know, was given very much I'm from the Bronx, like the stereotypical, oh, I'm from the Brooklyn, oh, I'm from the Bronx type of you know accent that they do in movies. And I was like, that is not how people from Detroit sound like. And it bothered me. And so I don't know if it was the story that was bad or if it was me being petty and not liking the female narrator. Because I've listened to this narrator before and I've liked the other books she's narrated. So I just really, I guess I took offense to this. I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm petty. I don't know. But, that's just me in a nutshell. I'm Petty Betty, I guess. But if you have read any of these books and you think that I should give them like a second chance and like push through to persevere and read them, let me know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe, like I said, I'm just being petty and I need to rise above and actually give these books a fair shot. I don't know. Maybe I need to stop trying to listen to audiobooks and then, actually read the book. Um, that is hard to do with two small kids, but I don't know. I'll let you guys, convince me. Or maybe you agree and you think that these books should stay DNF'd. So, okay. Thank you.